Goodness, they have water up here. I brought some up here because I was worried that I might choke. Thank you so much. Y'all know Louise Raggio, and you know her legacy. So to be honored tonight, I'm going to cry, to be honored tonight with an award that carries the name of Louise Raggio. The only thing I can say is I have to approach it with humility and trepidation, understanding the huge legacy that she left for all of us. The first thing I want to do is to say thank you. No one gets as far as any of us have gotten without the love, help, and companionship of family and friends. There are so many people who I've journeyed with to get here, and so many that I owe a debt of gratitude. And if I forget to mention you, I'm sorry. It's not because I'm not grateful. It's because I'm very nervous. And if you know me, I don't usually get nervous at speaking events. I usually, I'm up there, Johnny on the spot, let me take the room. First, I'd like to thank my mom and dad, and it's fitting that today is All Saints' Day. And if you know about All Saints' Day, you know it's the day that we remember the people who came before us, who we remember as they were positives in our lives, and who I like to call balcony people, the people who push you up, who support you and cheer you on in your journey. My mom and dad, I thank them for nurturing me in my development. They've both passed. I'd also like to thank my parents-in-law, Pat and Dick Folkerth. I failed to thank them at my first investiture, but I really should have, because they are responsible as much for not just nurturing me, but for sustaining me in the years of my professional life. There are also a number of folks here who have been for me most of the last 18 years, and specifically I'll start at my table. Donna Kendall, who was my court reporter, and any good judge who's been doing it long enough knows, your court reporter knows what you're going to say before you do. So to Donna, of course I have to thank her because she knows too many secrets not to thank her. And then there's Mary Ann Smith, Deputy Smith, Sheriff Smith, who, like many bailiffs in the courthouse, takes so much care to protect the judges, the lawyers, the court staff, everybody in the courtroom. And Mary Ann in particular approached every litigant with care and concern and walking them through the process. So thank you, Mary Ann. I'd also like to thank Mary Brown, Judge Brown, who has led by example so many times and taught me how to disagree without being disagreeable. She could persuade me to change my mind without ever arguing with me or saying a cross word. She's being tested right now because she's running for her own bench right now to write an election. I can't endorse candidates, but y'all know what to do. I want to thank Gracie, who has been almost my professional twin. Before I realized it, when I thought about it, I realized she was in my head. We came to the same solution for so many problems without ever talking to each other. And she showed me the value of cultural significance and the importance that it plays and the role that it plays when you make decisions. That moves me to now my years at the Court of Appeals, which is all of 1 and 8/10 of a year. Robbie Partida Kipnis, Justice Partida Kipnis. You are the glue that keeps the group of Latina judges together, telling us and reminding us how we are comadres to each other. I'm grateful to you for having you as a colleague, for your work to bring Latinas together and forming the community that we now have. Gracias, comadre. And Irma Ramirez, we've been the Latina judges in Dallas for so long. We were the only ones for the longest time. And she's a stellar example of what it is to be an excellent judge. It's been easy for Robbie and me to rally around your success and to cheer you on. Because we have to campaign, and because you can't campaign, I know that you look at us sometimes as wild and crazy state judges, but you always draw us back to center and focus us on the work. You make us excellent, and I know that I will strive to follow your example. Speaking of mentors, I've been lucky to have a few. Ron Massengill and David Evans, the Fort Worth David Evans, not the Dallas David Evans, although the Dallas David Evans is awesome too, for giving me my first shot at being a lawyer. I hope that I've shown them that I'm not throwing away my shot. Tom Goranson for helping me to develop my skills as a lawyer to the next level and doing me the favor of never answering a question that I brought to him, but instead giving me 3 more questions so that I become a better lawyer and better analyzer of legal problems. That brings me to Linda Thomas, and I'm weepy because of her introduction. She's a mentor that I never knew that I needed, and she knew that I needed her. She was been there for every step of my judicial journey, and she's been protecting me in ways that I never knew that I was needed protection or that she could protect me. I love her deeply for all of the ways that she's been there for me, and I am proud to call her a friend and colleague. Finally, last but not least, Eric, my husband. Yes. I know it's corny, but you are my soulmate. I'm not going to say wind beneath my wings, don't worry. But truly, my soulmate. You tell me that I'm your rock, but you are my air. You've always been there for me, and you've never said, but you can't. You've always said, why not? You've given me the freedom to dream beyond my wildest imagination and to go on adventures that we never knew that we thought we'd go through when we first started our journey together. Thank you so much. You've never told me that I can't achieve a goal, and for that, I'm really grateful. Instead, you've always said, let's go. I'm forever grateful to my husband, Eric, for dreaming and for following the dreams that we have together. It wouldn't be, Justice Thomas was correct, my daughter. I'm very proud. She couldn't be here tonight because she's the responsible adult that we raised her to be. She's currently pursuing her master's in counseling, and she had a number of clients tonight, and she told me that she had a number of clients that she had to see, and she wouldn't be able to make the trip from Denton. She's got a 4.0 GPA, and she's very responsible. The responsible part we can take responsibility for, but the 4.0 GPA we can't. We don't know where that came from. We were okay students, but we weren't 4.0 GPA students. I am inspired by my daughter for the work that she does and the excellence that she shows us. And that brings me to the interns that we've had that I've had over the years and that I continue to have at the Court of Appeals. They are an inspiration to me as well. And based on the information and based on the data that I've collected from the interns that I have to tell you, I feel very confident about the future. We've got Astrid here. And I know I have Astrid Fuentes, she was our intern, but I know I have a number of other interns and law students in the audience, like Haley Jones is here. She was one of my law students at SMU. I feel really good about what our future holds. And I am very humbled to have this award. Thank you so much for the honor.